Donald Trump once again directed criticism at Jimmy Kimmel, describing the late-night host as talentless, unfunny, and undeserving of a national television audience.
First, I'm sure they'll give me great reviews, right? They'll say he was horrible, he was terrible, it was a horrible situation. No, we'll do fine. I've watched some of the people that host. Jimmy Kimmel was horrible. And some of these people, if I can't beat out Jimmy Kimmel in terms of talent, then I don't think I should be president.
Of course, the truth is Donald Trump is he's a very talented person. I mean, the man could sing.
Be Acres is the place to be.
The man can act.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
He can dance.
This administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down. And all, as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face. But people have made these elections and politics in general who they are, and it's not who you are. You can make a bad decision about a candidate. It's not who you are. It doesn't mean you're dumb.
How have you prepared to host tonight?
Well, maybe I haven't prepared. Maybe you want to be a little bit loose. If you look at the great hosts, Johnny Carson, Bob Hope, those are the greats. If you look at the not so greats like Jimmy Kimmel,
It's been a gift from God. It's like literally like brought me back to 8 years old, where I used to sit in my room. Trump is toast.
I like that one. That's
Trump is toast.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And so you just kind of digest the news of the
It's
day.
an affirmation.
I'm glad some good is coming out of this stuff. This is Robert Mueller.
Robert Mueller putting the squeeze on the president.
Oh,
He showed the common man being fed through gears of the brutal, dehumanizing industrial age. He took on the American right wing of his day, its worst evils: hatred of immigrants, contempt for the truth, greed, and the abuse of power. We are fighting those same evils today.
For years, Trump had singled out late-night comedians who mocked him, while Kimmel consistently answered by replaying Trump's own remarks and asking why a former president devoted so much attention to entertainers. Before long, Jim Carrey's name also resurfaced in the discussion. Carrey had previously created a series of political paintings depicting Trump as furious, insecure, and driven by a constant need for attention. Eventually, he stopped producing those works, explaining that he believed he had already delivered the warning he wanted the public to hear. Although he moved on, the artwork remained widely available online, while Kimmel's nightly monologues continued raising a similar question. Why did jokes from comedians provoke such a strong reaction from Trump? Kimmel began his show with Trump's latest criticism displayed on the screen behind him. He never suggested that Carrey was present, or that the two had confronted Trump together. Instead, the segment simply connected two well-known forms of public commentary: Kimmel's televised monologues and Carrey's political artwork. Carrey relied on exaggerated facial features, dark tones, and distorted imagery to portray a president consumed by anger. Kimmel relied on publicly available video clips, social media posts, and Trump's own statements. One communicated through paintings, the other relied on replaying documented footage. Despite the different approaches, both highlighted the same recurring behavior. Rather than ignoring criticism or satire, Trump frequently responded by giving it even more attention. He identified the host by name, criticized the television network, complained about ratings, demanded consequences, and repeatedly revisited the same dispute. Each reaction generated another round of headlines about the criticism he wanted people to disregard. Kimmel then played several of Trump's statements back to back. Trump accused late-night television of being dishonest, questioned why networks continued employing hosts who criticized him, celebrated poor ratings whenever possible, and treated comedy aimed at him as though it represented a serious political threat. The audience laughed, but Kimmel deliberately slowed the conversation. This, he suggested, was about more than a dispute between celebrities. A president held institutional authority, while a comedian held only a microphone. When someone occupying the nation's highest office publicly pressured television networks because of jokes, the imbalance of power mattered more than the jokes themselves. Carrey's artwork added another perspective. His strongest paintings never claimed to be neutral observations. They reflected the personal political views of an artist rather than documentary evidence. Even so, the central image they presented, a powerful figure unable to accept ridicule, kept returning whenever Trump publicly responded to criticism from television hosts. Kimmel paired one of Carrey's earlier remarks with Trump's latest attack. Carrey had once described his paintings as a warning, comparing them to a lighthouse alerting sailors that dangerous rocks lay ahead. Kimmel did not ask viewers to accept every painting as factual. Instead, he encouraged them to examine Trump's reaction. If the artwork truly didn't matter, why continue bringing it back into the spotlight? If Kimmel was genuinely unsuccessful, why keep mentioning him by name? If the jokes had no real impact, why suggest that television networks should remove the people telling them? That was the central point of the segment. There were no hidden recordings, leaked documents, or dramatic confrontations. It simply assembled a series of public statements that anyone could review for themselves. Trump's own responses became part of the criticism. Every attack directed at Kimmel reinforced Kimmel's argument that Trump struggled to ignore being mocked. Every complaint about Carrey's paintings introduced those images to another audience. The effort to suppress the criticism ended up becoming fresh evidence supporting it. Kimmel concluded by drawing a distinction between ridicule and accountability. Comedy can be unfair. Political artwork can be openly partisan. Viewers are free to reject either one. What public officials are not guaranteed, however, is automatic applause. Beside those remarks appeared one of Carrey's most intense portraits. One image represented an artist's interpretation. The other reflected Trump's own documented response. Placed together, they left the audience with a question that Trump's anger never fully addressed.